You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly pop and geek culture show covering movies, TV, games, and comics. Now your hosts, Cody Pinnick, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that's always twerking after the credits.
And everyone's always mad about it.
Yeah, every time.
Uh-huh.
I'm Cody.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Samantha.
Boy, are my hindquarters tired from all of the twerking.
Yeah, I've got some like friction burns from the slapping of my cheeks.
We have a great show for you this week. A bunch of things to talk about. But first, let's talk about some things we've been checking out.
Check it out!
And of course, I mean the cheeks on my face, not whatever you were thinking about.
Yeah, I mean that's what I assumed was all the cheeks on the face. Absolutely. So yeah, what have you guys been doing this week?
We watched that Yokai movie.
We did. I forgot about this last week. Shudder added a bunch of Japanese samurai movies with yokai in them from the
is it
late
like the
60s?
Great Yokai War?
Yes.
Like Spook
Spook Warfare.
Spook
That
Warfare
was the
is
movie.
great. I love that movie.
That's what we watched.
It was
Nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Nice. There's a remake of Spook Warfare that was directed by Takashi Miike.
Oh, that's probably wild.
Super good. Yeah, super good.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. So what's it about?
It's about a feudal lord, like a daimyo or whatever, that gets possessed by a demon from an ancient Babylonian demon, and goes back to Japan and causes a lot of trouble. And the yokai, Japanese myth monsters don't like it, so they fight back.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of weird puppets.
Weirdo puppets.
Yeah, there's a Kappa he's like a turtle man.
What
And
was this from the 60s?
yeah, it was late 60s, 1968, I think.
Yeah.
So it's that level of special effects. It basically looks like a Power Rangers.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
it's
It basically is. It's
tokusatsu.
tokusatsu. Yeah.
There's a Kappa. There's that umbrella
The
monster
umbrella with the leg? Yeah.
The stretch neck lady is my favorite.
Oh, she's
very
great.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just a lady that has a weird face with a long nose on the back of her head. It's just a bunch of weird Japanese monsters fighting samurai, and
It's super fun.
yeah, it's a great movie.
Super fun, super hokey. But yeah. That's part of a trilogy, from the 60s.
Yep.
And like I said, they remade that one, or took elements from that one for the Great Yokai War that was made mid-2000s, I think. And it also takes elements of, gosh, I cannot remember the guy's name, but there was a folklore about a guy who was an old-timey Japanese general. It's what M. Bison was designed after, with the hat and the coat and everything.
I don't know.
He was the main protagonist of one of the Shin Megami Tensei remake or side games or whatever.
Nocturne, I think.
Nocturne, yeah. Basically, that guy in folklore is a villain. He's a guy who wants to take revenge on Japan, basically, and he basically starts brainwashing yokai and feeding them into a giant world engine to destroy Japan. And a small boy and a samurai sword and a bunch of goofy yokai have to save the day.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I read about the trilogy, and apparently the Spook Warfare is the one with the most yokai stuff. It's the most yokai focused, so I'm glad that's the one we watched.
Yeah, you picked the right one, for sure.
Last night in Soho.
Oh, yeah.
We finally sat down to watch that.
Yeah.
And it's very good.
I was
I liked it a
surprised.
lot. I was
Yeah.
on the fence because I did not like Baby Driver, which Edgar Wright's previous movie didn't do anything for me. But this one was a really good, well-told ghost story.
Oh, good. Yeah, that one's about it's the girl who keeps flashing back to like someone's previous life or something like that.
She moves into a new apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she moves to London from the country. Like, I don't know if they did this on purpose or I'm just like kind of slow. But for the first like 20 minutes of the movie, I thought it was set in the past when they're in her old town, like outside of the city, and then she moves to London, and I'm like, oh no, this is present day. So either Edgar Wright pulled like a neat fast one, or I was just not paying enough attention.
Yeah.
One of the two. But she goes to fashion design school. Doesn't fit in with the nasty girls that also go there because she's just a precious, like innocent country girl.
Mm-hmm.
So she moves out of her dorm to a cheap apartment in another part of town, and every time she goes to sleep there, she like sees the life of this other girl
Of the singer.
Yeah,
right.
in the 60s, and how that goes down.
And it doesn't go down well.
No.
That one has what's her name? Princess Peach.
Yeah, Anya
Taylor-Joy and Doctor Who, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Matt Smith.
He's a very
he's a very mean dude.
Very nasty Doctor Who.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
The Doctor would never say such a thing.
Oh, if you think he's a nasty Doctor Who there, you should see Morbius. He does a nasty vampire dance.
Is it on Netflix now?
It is.
Morbius, yeah, it is on Netflix.
It's Morbin time for real.
But it was a really good story told well, and the like set design and all the stuff in the past is like really cool looking.
The music's really good too.
Yeah.
It always is.
And they put Anya Taylor-Joy in a lot of pretty outfits, looking like they do.
Oh, sure.
Just like
they do.
That's what Queen's Gambit half was too.
She can wear anything.
Yeah. It's like Edgar Wright saw Queen's Gambit and said, I want to put her in cute dresses. But yeah, I was surprised how much I liked it. I was worried because it kind of reviewed
It was kind of iffy. Yeah.
But I really liked it. It was really good.
It's pretty solid, and the twist at the end was really good.
Yes,
as well. Not to get into it.
It was well earned and good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Part of it wasn't entirely surprising, but the whole story got me. Like, I don't want to get into it too spoilery, but it is good. Characters I thought were, other characters weren't, and some were.
Right.
I guess is the best way to put it.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, cool. Very, very cool.
I don't know. You got anything?
I am racking my brain trying to think if I've done anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, I got
for
one.
the week.
I got one more.
One more. We might cut this one short and go and jump into news in the first half of unprecedented turn of events. But yeah, go ahead with your third one.
Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Oh, that's the Animal Crossing one, right?
That I just cannot stop playing, and Samantha hates it.
I've heard people are so surprised by how actually competent it is.
Yeah, it's very good. It's a good mix of Animal Crossing and kind of Stardew.
Okay.
Because while it does operate like on real time, it doesn't time gate you nearly as much as Animal Crossing does. So you get caught in that loop of like, just one more task.
Just one more.
One more task. Because you move into a special village where Disney characters live, but a horrible, evil thing called the Forgetting has made them all forget who they are, and some of them have disappeared, and Mickey Mouse can't remember the face of his own wife.
Oh, no. Gosh, I can't remember who I am. Yuck.
It's weird, like the spectral ghost of Minnie Mouse will like occasionally appear walking around in the town.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. You got to restore people's memories of Minnie so they remember her and she can exist again.
Now, is this part? I'm making a joke, but is this part of the Kingdom Hearts? Did Naminé come down and suck all the memories out of all of the Disney characters?
Get Norded or whatever.
Yeah, they all got Norded.
It's not nearly as overwrought.
Oh, bummer.
But you just do things with the characters to make them be friends with you more, and you fish and you plant plants and you mine for gems and
nice.
Sell them to Goofy. Scrooge McDuck is the Tom Nook of the
Of
town,
course he is.
basically.
Of course he is. That makes so much sense.
And by doing tasks, you get Dreamlight, which is like Nook miles, so you can unlock more space in the town and stuff, and more characters show up. And you can actually have them hang out with you. Like, certain characters have different tasks they like to do. So if you want to go fishing, which Goofy loves fishing, obviously.
Of course he does.
You go up to Goofy and say, let's hang out. And he follows you around and goes fishing. And when you catch fish, he likes it.
If there's two things that Goofy enjoys, it's fishing and getting hit in the head with rocks.
and doing that yell.
Yeah.
And they'll fish with you and it'll make them like you more. And you'll get like bonus items while you're doing it.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's good.
Increase your S rank.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I've heard nothing but good things. I haven't really looked at it too much. Because I've been playing another town sim. I've been playing Cult of the Lamb, which we talked about a few weeks ago, which is a good game with a giant asterisk. 5 asterisks. It is so buggy on console that I was 3/4 of the way through the game and it had a game-breaking bug with the third boss. So bad that I had to restart the game from scratch.
Oh, no.
Yeah, after you said something about it glitching on you, I looked up like Reddit posts about it and stuff.
And it's nonstop.
Yeah, apparently about 3/4 of the way through the game, it just completely disintegrates.
Well, what happened to me, there was a boss that can fly around the arena, and one of the things he can do is fly outside of the bounding area of like the arena. And if you accidentally get the last hit while he is outside of the arena where you can't go, the important item that he drops, you cannot get and therefore cannot continue.
Oh, no.
And you're just stuck. You're just stuck. And there's nothing you can do about it. And the game autosaves, so you can't roll anything back.
Oh, no.
And you are just done.
Yeah. I think they probably...
It needed another 6 months.
Yeah.
Easily another 6 months, if not another year.
Or just come out on PC and then come out on consoles later. It sounds like they probably stretched themselves too thin over too many releases. And they should have just focused on one till it worked.
And it's clear that the PC was their focus because that's the only one that seems to be getting semi-regular content updates.
Yeah, and I haven't heard anything from any like streamers or anything you see playing it on PC. They don't have these problems.
No, they don't. Not really.
Yeah.
And the Twitch integration doesn't work on consoles. It's only PC. Like, it's very clear that this game was made for PC, and I don't know if it was a Massive Monster or Devolver who said, hey, put this on everything. Do it right now. And it's yeah.
I'm surprised how big the game has gotten, though.
It's very good.
It is a very good game. I heard them talking about it on NPR the other day when I was pulling into my driveway.
Really interesting.
And how good it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's talking about games that you have that just one more thing. That game is absolutely just one more thing, one more run. Let me chop down some trees real quick. Let me do this. Let me do that. And yeah. And you play until you get stuck by a game-breaking bug and rage quit.
Dreamlight Valley has some like adventure-y elements to
really?
it too.
Interesting.
They're like Ursula told me, go in this cave and there's something in there. But there's gates on the way in that require certain items to be placed in them to open them up.
Oh,
so
okay.
they're like, find the crystal that matches these colors. So I got to go mine a blue crystal, a green crystal, and a red one to open the door. And then later it's like, farm these fruits and veggies that match this description. And then
very
plant
interesting.
them there to open the next door. So it's not just Animal Crossing. Like
there's other stuff to it.
It does enough neat stuff that it separates itself from Animal Crossing.
Well, right on. Well, hey, do you want to just go ahead and start talking about some news? We have a whole list of it, and just kind of do a short check them out section.
I hope we have enough.
We will make it work. All right. Well, let's jump into a couple things that we had left over from last week. I think that's a good place to start. There's a an announcement for a movie called Dumb Money.
Yeah, it's a movie based on the GameStop stock craziness that happened, like, I don't know, 6 months ago.
8 months ago. Yeah. And normally I'd be like, oh, well, whatever. This is fine. But it's Seth Rogen and who was the other guy with it? It was someone.
Who's the guy he always writes with?
I will look it up.
Evan something.
Well, it's going to be starring Paul Dano and Sebastian Stan and Seth Rogen.
That's why we put it on the board.
Yeah, because it's a weird cast. It's a weird good cast.
Yeah.
It's a weird topic for a movie. I mean, I guess it's a notable thing that happened during, with stocks and whatnot.
I guess it's gonna be like a Moneyball thing with games.
Maybe.
Or like a Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Has it been long enough that we should explain what happened with the GameStop stocks thing?
Yeah, I guess so. It has been a while.
It's been a while. So basically, GameStop had their stocks artificially inflated
by a Reddit page.
By a bunch of people on Reddit, and some people made quite a bit of money off of it. Some people lost quite a bit of money on it because stocks are a gamble. But that's essentially what it is. It's just a bunch of regular dudes who did a pump and dump with GameStop, essentially.
Can we say that on the radio?
It's an actual stock market term, so it's allowed.
I wish somebody would artificially inflate Nintendo stock because that's the only stock that I own. Yeah,
I'll see it.
Yeah.
I'll see it. It sounds interesting. It's not exactly the most exciting topic for a movie, but with this cast, they can make it funny.
Yeah.
Look, Paul Dano was very good on the Batman. He was a very good Riddler.
Maybe it's a prequel to the Batman where that's where the Riddler got all of his money for all of his tricks and treats or whatever.
And third act bombs that stretch the movie out way too long.
Well, yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about that yet? Has the movie been out long enough?
It's on streaming now, so I think it's allowed.
Boy, that made the movie go too long.
Sure did.
I was done. I was ready to pack up and go, and they're like, oh no, Riddler has got some bombs out there too, so here's another 30 more minutes. No.
Superhero movies don't need to be pushing 3 hours.
No.
They don't. I love them. I enjoy watching them, and when I'm in them, they're great. They don't need to be 3 hours long. There's not enough story there at one time.
Especially when the story had already wrapped up well.
Exactly. It's almost like in The Dark Knight where the movie wraps up and then they have the whole Two-Face thing. And that's the last 45 minutes is Two-Face, and they could have saved that for the next movie. They could have done anything with it, but instead it's like, the movie's over. Let's keep going. Yeah. Why not?
And the whole bit didn't add anything to the movie.
Yeah.
We maybe got to see Batman be like more heroic to the people of Gotham, but they could have did that anywhere in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And in less time.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of movies that are coming out eventually, there was a poster for Hocus Pocus 2.
It looks like a Hocus Pocus.
It looks like, it's the three ladies, it's the Sanderson sisters. They're there.
I know people are very excited about this movie, and that's very good, and I'm glad that it'll make people happy, but I don't think this needs to exist.
I am in the same boat. I do have nostalgia for the movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I watched it as a kid, like a lot. It was on rotation, and I liked it. I kind of think it's funny that it was originally pitched and shot as though it would be a Disney Channel exclusive television movie, made for TV movie that they then said, this is actually pretty good. Let's put it in theaters. But yeah, I don't think it needs to exist.
No.
You're right.
They didn't need to go back to that well. I mean, they could have just made like a good Halloween movie.
Listen, I know there's a whole cottage market about mining nostalgia. And
yeah, that's 90% of the things we talk about.
It is. That is our bread and butter, man. Yeah. but this is one thing that just doesn't need to be, I think. I
they-
mean, could be wrong. It could be good.
Yeah, I'll be totally stoked if it's a good movie. That's fine. But
Now the question is, I haven't seen any reports. Has friend of the show Doug Jones returned as the zombie man?
I think so.
Really?
I would hope so. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's like
'Cause I think I read something where they said that they just basically dusted off the wig and threw it on him, didn't do anything to it. And
Really? Oh,
just,
that's
They
awesome.
held the costume on display somewhere. And that's-
they just pulled it out and said, "Here you go, Doug." Oh, he was back on What We Do in the Shadows again.
Oh, he was
And
good.
he was very good.
Doug Jones is regularly a delight in everything that he is in.
Yes.
Whether he is in makeup or not. I remember there was a show called The Neighbors, I think it was, where a normal family moves into a gated community that is secretly a bunch of aliens that are just on Earth. It was originally like an invasion force, but they just decided, we kind of like it here. We're just going to live. And it's like one whole community where everyone's just weird. And Doug Jones would show up in episodes every now and then being like the one kind of very quiet, weird dissenter. Being like, the guy who's in charge of our community, maybe he's not that great. Maybe I could do a better job. But it was less like full on dissenting and more like a neighbor just kind of complaining, going, I could do that better. And it's very tall Doug Jones being very tall Doug Jones.
Passive aggressive Doug Jones.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if they get him back, I'm trying to think of the character's name and I can't do it, but
Billy Butcherson.
Billy Butcherson.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of What We Do in the Shadows, we did finish all of the current season.
Oh, nice.
And it was a very good season, except the show needs to stop being afraid of making any sort of large change to the cast.
Gotcha.
Because it's getting to the point where, like, it's kind of annoying.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the end of last season, the cast was split up and sent to different parts of the world. And then we come back in this season, they just, we're back. Everything's back to normal. We didn't do anything with these narrative leads that we planned in the first season. And it looks very much like they're just going to do that again.
That's kind of a bummer.
I mean, I know it's
not, 'cause, I mean, he was talking about making changes.
That's true.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because Guillermo was making statements about how nothing ever changes around here. So maybe they're aware of it.
Maybe they're aware. That's, yeah. Yeah.
And I know it's a goof 'em up vampire show, but, like, they do tell good stories in there.
Oh,
It's
sure.
not-
There is room for a goofy, jokey show that can also tell a solid story. I mean, look at Only Murderers in the Building.
Yeah.
That's a very funny, jokey show that has
It's
a
really
through
good,
line.
Yeah, solid mystery in it.
Yeah. Do you see Paul Rudd is being added to the full cast for the entirety of next season?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you guys watched through the whole thing, or are you
No.
still watching? Okay,
So
I
don't
will not.
spoil it.
I will
Yeah.
not spoil anything. I will not spoil anything.
Yeah, we haven't finished
But-
the new season yet.
Okay. Well, there's. Yeah.
I think that is a much more fitting choice than Amy Schumer was for this season.
Yes.
That felt so out of left field.
Well, I'm just not a fan of Amy Schumer
No.
to begin with. I mean, I've tried to give her a fair shake. I really have, but it just.
I liked some of her show, but then it kept going, and then she didn't. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
She just
There's
It
something.
got old.
yeah. Her shtick got old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess.
Nope. That makes. Yeah.
I'm
I
a
agree.
woman and I say rude things.
Yeah.
There's a place for that, but also, yeah, if that's where it begins or ends. I mean, we already had Sarah Silverman,
Yeah.
who is also a much better actress and comedian, but
It has a much wider range.
yes, absolutely. All right, well, hey, let's go ahead and take a break here. When we come back, we'll talk about more news.
Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Dunham, the host of Long Play here on WZMO. Long Play is a show that appeals to music lovers of all ages. Here's an example.
I love long play.
There you have it. a completely unsolicited endorsement for one of our youngest fans.
Grandpa, where's my candy?
Ellie, be cool.
Grandpa!
Ellie and I would like to invite you to tune into Long Play every Friday at 11 p.m. and Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on 104.7
WCMO.
Hey, we're back from the break, and we're going to jump into more news. I don't have to play the news song this time. We already did it.
Oh, yeah.
But you could.
I
and
could.
It'll fill 30 seconds.
You know, you oh ye of little faith. I think we have plenty here.
Okay.
It's not A tier, but we can pad out the show. It's all good. It's all good. Sometimes you need a Z grade episode.
And if we got time left, we'll play the news jingle just over and over again until we hit 30 minutes.
I mean, listen, not every episode has to be filet mignon. Sometimes you just want a cheeseburger. It's all good.
The cheeseburger episode.
The cheeseburger episode. That's it. That's the name. Nailed it. See? We're making it. We just killed 2 minutes. We're good, guys. All right. So we were talking about things that are being rebooted because of nostalgia reasons. And there is a new trailer for the partial reboot, partial sequel series to Quantum Leap, also called Quantum Leap.
It's one of those things where they're going to have to put the year behind it in parentheses so you know which one.
Eventually, yeah. So, I don't know, guys. This actually looks pretty good. It looks like they're sticking pretty close to the original formula.
I've never watched Quantum
I
Leap.
haven't either.
It's such a good show.
Everything I know about Quantum Leap has been through like cultural osmosis and the McElroys talking about it.
Yeah.
Same.
No, it is a super good show. There were 5 seasons of it. Dr. Sam Beckett creates a science experiment that has him transport his consciousness back through time, but only in the time frame that he is alive. So, like, I think he was born in like 1950 or 40 something. So it's only between 1940 something and now, but random people.
Oh, so it's not like, oh no, you're hanging out with George Washington today.
Right.
It's not Doctor Who.
It's not Doctor Who. No, he doesn't go back like that. But it's
not American Doctor Who.
No, absolutely not. But no, it's him traveling back in time and pulled by an unknown force.
Yeah. But it actually is kind of American.
A little bit. There's no TARDIS or anything, but he does have a companion though, so that's cool. But he travels through time, pulled by an unknown force. In the 5th season, they alluded it might be God, but maybe not. Who knows? It could also be the future version of himself, sending himself back through time to these different spots, basically trying to correct minor bits of wrong history. And not like it's never like a big thing like, oh, I need to stop JFK's assassination or anything major. It's like, well, this person was wrongly sent to jail and died in prison. We're going to jump into his body while he's on the electric chair, and he gets right when he gets a 48-hour stay of execution, and you have 48 hours to prove that he didn't actually do a murder. And that's it. It's never major anything, but it's always minor stuff. And he's accompanied, in the original show, he is accompanied by a guy named Al, who was actually a military guy, but he always wears like crazy loud suit jackets and stuff. And their sentient computer, Ziggy, which is basically an iPhone with a bunch of Legos glued to the back of it. As you know, traveling through time or righting what was once wrong, hoping the next leap will be the leap home. And this one looks like it's going to be a lot of the same. It's a new protagonist. Dr. Song, I think, is the guy's name. And but the same thing. He has a sidekick in the present day who is a hologram
from the future,
which is what Al was. He was a hologram from the future that would come back in time that only dogs, kids, and people with special needs could see. But yeah, and the working theory is this is not a reboot so much as it is a sequel, and they're actually looking for Dr. Beckett. They're looking for him. He went missing at the end of season 5 of his own series, and people lost track of him, and he's still out there quantum leaping. So we might run into Scott Bakula continuing to quantum leap.
Except he could be inside somebody else, so Scott Bakula doesn't have to actually be on the
He doesn't
show.
have to be, but he could. I mean, what else is he doing?
Yeah.
Also, for one episode in the original series, they had an evil leaper who was doing the opposite, who was leaping into different bodies
And causing
chaos. And it was a topic that they never went back to. I can see them doing more of that in this series. This series looks like it's a lot more actiony. Which
'Cause that's
I'm
what they
not
do
a
with
huge.
everything.
That's what they do with everything. I mean, it's definitely getting the Hawaii Five-O-ification, or when they redid MacGyver,
Or Star Trek.
or what was the other one? Walker Texas Ranger on the CW. It has that look of a new show, and it's definitely more actiony. But it might be a good show. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
What was that show that you liked on Netflix about the lady who had a real big gun?
Oh, I know not her.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, okay, yeah.
That was a fun show.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know either, but I'm
Yeah.
glad you said it. That's great. I've heard good things about that show. Yeah. Should we talk more about mining our nostalgia for media gains?
Sure, because Disney's always doing that.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm assuming we're going to go into a Disney topic. We have several of them.
Well,
here.
we could have split. I was either going to talk about the BioShock Netflix series or the Disney stuff.
Well, Disney wants a piece of that Magic the Gathering money.
Oh, sure.
So they're coming out with a new card game called Lorcana.
Coming while the iron is ice cold. I mean, people like Magic the Gathering, but there was a time and place for a new card game. It's not now.
And I don't think the gimmick of it being Disney is gonna push it any
It's
further.
not enough.
No. And you can't just walk in and try to like go up against Pokemon and Magic.
Yeah,
they're
it's not going to
such
work.
Established brands from all the way back in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Well, it's almost like that phone game that they put out a while here recently, the RPG one where everyone has weird armor. And they have those. They released the action figures for them like almost 2 years prior to the game being released in the U.S.
And they're on every clearance rack.
They
now.
are, because no one wants them.
I played the game.
I did too.
It's like Disney Mirrorverse. or something.
Mirrorverse.
It wasn't bad.
It was fine.
It was weird to play a Disney beat 'em up, which is basically what it was.
Yeah. I bounced off it so hard.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to it since.
Yeah, I tried it one day and it was fine, but then I just bounced completely
The
off.
character designs, the reimaginings of the characters were kind of cool, actually.
Some of them were kind of neat.
And some of them weren't.
Some of them
were
weren't.
better than others.
I like that they utilized lesser developed characters, and they have their Jack Sparrows and they have their Mickey Mouses, but they have Baloo from Tailspin, and Baloo has weird pilot armor, and that's kind of neat.
I like the fighting versions of the princesses.
Those are kind of
that's a
neat.
Cool look.
Yeah.
I mained Merida from Brave.
I'm surprised they're not using those designs for this card game, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually think that would work a little bit better.
Yeah, these are just they've shown off 6 cards,
And they just look like Disney characters.
Yeah, they're fine. The art's good, but it's not.
You know what they look
neat.
like? They look like those old Marvel card game cards from the 80s, from the mid 90s.
I don't know those.
It was like the Tops. Oh geez, if Josh were here, he would know. He would know right off the top of his head, because everybody ended up 2 or 3 of them, because I think they were in cereal boxes because no one bought them. But it was you guys move on to the next topic. I'm going to look these up.
I just don't think there's enough to grab a hold of there with Disney. These Disney not playing cards. Yeah, they're Disney Hoyle playing cards.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, I don't know the rules to the game either, but just there doesn't seem like there's enough story that you could put there to link all this stuff together that would make sense.
Is it like a collecting thing? Is that what they're counting on?
It can be, but there's also a I guess one-on-one battle game like you would do Magic or Pokemon. But I can't see a bunch of sweaty nerds in a room making their Cruella de Vil's fight their Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, I don't see it either. It was the Marvel Overpower card game, and here are some examples of the cards, and they look very similar to these Disney cards.
Those are not great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're not, well, they're very 90s.
I don't see there being an audience for this.
I don't
That's
either.
where I'm
I don't
trying
either.
to go.
Yeah. The audience that they're hoping to get are already spending all of their money on Pokemon cards and, to a lesser extent, Yu-Gi-Oh! And the people that have the disposable income for it are playing Magic the Gathering. So there's no...
And that's a completely different aesthetic than
Yes.
these cards. That's
Yes.
not going to, I don't think, will appeal to that audience.
Yeah. So, but hey, they're trying it. And
Disney adults have popcorn buckets that they need to buy. They don't need cards.
that's very true. What are some more Marvel Disney stuff? You said we had a couple more things.
They announced a Black Panther Captain America crossover game that takes place during World War II.
And that's all they did.
Yeah. The writer for it is the lady that wrote a bunch of the Uncharted games, which she's a good writer.
That's
I
not
think
bad.
Amy Hennig, I think is her name, which that's good, but like I don't know what kind of game this is. The teaser trailer just was like panning over objects and then showed the silhouette of 4
So they've done
people.
nothing for it yet.
Yeah.
They've gone through the design phase and that is it. Gotcha.
And the way they show these 4 playable heroes, like they use that verbiage specifically, makes me think it's like a what's that, Gotham Knights game?
Yes.
It looks like maybe it's just going to be
Might
one
be
of
that
those,
style. Yeah.
which is not terribly appealing.
Nothing about that Gotham Knights game looks good to me.
No.
Not a single thing. That's the one where the Joker and Batman are dead,
Yeah.
and it's Batman's 4 former proteges, fighting against Clayface and Harley Quinn.
And like and it's multiplayer and you have to team up with other people, which
Yeah.
like, if it was solely a single player narrative experience, yes, I would play that. But a multiplayer, like it's gonna be like a service game.
Yeah,
thing,
no,
and,
that's
like,
yeah.
I'm so tired of
Oh,
those
I
at
am
this
too.
point.
Games, yeah. Well, gas games are not. I mean, they're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I miss a high budget narrative focused game like your Uncharted's or even your BioShocks, like especially first person shooter. I can't remember the last time a first person shooter came out that tried to tell a decent story and have an interesting setting.
Splatoon.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
kind of, and that's third person, but
Like
yeah.
Deathloop, I guess. was the
Deathloop, kind of,
closest.
but I guess it dropped the ball on the at the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Kind of. I just aesthetically, Gotham Knights doesn't look good, and my brain immediately shuts off whenever I see anything with the Red Hood in it, because we have Nightwing, who is just Batman. We have Batgirl, who is Girl Batman. We have Robin, who is Child Batman. And then we have Red Hood, who is Batman with gun. And that, I have zero interest in Batman with gun.
Yeah.
Every incarnation of anything where they go, it's Batman, but he's edgier because he shoots a gun. Like they did that, the Batman that's supposedly showing up in the Flash movie that may or may not be happening is Parallel Earth
Thomas
Wayne,
Batman.
who is Batman who uses the guns that killed his wife and child for purposes. And like, I don't care about a Batman with a gun. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't care.
When he got shot by Joe Cool.
Yeah.
That was a Harley Quinn joke in that last, not the last episode, but the episode before last. Like they meet Joe Chill in the dream, and Harley's like, "Oh no, it's Joe Cool."
It's Joe Cool.
And Ivy's like, "No, that's Joe Chill. Joe Cool is when Snoopy wears sunglasses and pretends to be a college student."
I watched clips from the newest episode. Poison Ivy gets her classic costume, and she connects to the green.
Yeah, she's been doing that throughout the
but she gets
season.
like full mode, and she like gets the full costume and is so excited because she's like, I knew I could pull off pixie boots.
It's like Dr. Psycho. Well, then who's Joe Camel?
Yeah, that's the third one. Yeah.
That episode where they go into Bruce Wayne's brain was so good.
We talked about that a little bit last week, but it's really solid.
Yeah. That show's so good. I'm so glad it keeps getting picked up.
I am too.
I'm so glad I keep getting surprised by the fact that they keep picking it up.
It seems that's a
like,
show that really shouldn't have made it past season 1.
It seems too good to be true.
Yeah. It's really tapping into the Venture Brothers market.
Yeah.
Because it's basically Venture Brothers, but with established DC characters. And I love the fact that they tweak the personalities. They're still, recognizable as the characters, but they've just been tweaked just enough to make them a little more interesting. I like it. I like it a lot.
We saw a big Clayface action figure at like a Walmart or whatever the other day, and I'm like, I can't look. It looks completely different than the Harley Quinn show, but I can't look at that and not hear Alan Tudyk's voice coming out of it.
Alan Tudyk's old-timey theater.
Yeah, thespian voice.
Yes. I have to get into character.
Is there any other Disney? I think that might be it.
That might be it. Well, we were talking about DC stuff. We have a couple of those.
Oh, wait, no, there's one more at the very top.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Niantic of Pokemon Go and several other failed projects fame is gearing up for a new failed project.
This just in, they've canceled it. No, they're trying to capture the Pokemon Go magic again. It's not going to work. Pokemon Go is a kind of special case because going out and exploring and catching things is intrinsic to the property. You don't go out into the world and catch 150 Iron Man to level up your Iron Man Mark II armor. You don't do that.
Yep. It didn't work with Harry Potter, which is like the third highest grossing franchise or whatever. Why is it going to work here?
It didn't work with Harry Potter. It didn't work. It's barely working with Pikmin. Pikmin is just different enough that people still play it, but not as many people play it.
And it fits that franchise.
Yeah. It didn't work so... It was so not right for Transformers that game didn't even come out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were supposed to walk around the world and collect Energon cubes. Oh. That Transformers thing that everybody knows and remembers from the 1980s G1 Transformers, the Energon cubes.
I do like the fact that this Marvel game has you create your own hero. I always like making a superhero, so maybe that
might be kind of... But then does that mean you're going to have to travel around the world collecting different superpowers to make your character do things?
They said you could pick powers based on other heroes, so I don't know.
Oh.
Like, I'm going Doctor Strange.
Okay.
100%. I'm going to be the Sorcerer Supreme.
Sure, why not? I mean, it's not going to cost anything to try this game, so I'll try this game.
Oh, yeah.
But I guarantee I will bounce off so hard with it.
It can't be worse than that Harry Potter game.
Oh,
that was so bad.
You say that.
That was
however
awful. It was too stingy with the items. And it just didn't make any sense. Like narratively.
Yeah. They tried to run that one as like a loss leader, I think. I think Pokemon Go is the loss leader, and they were trying to make their money back with Harry Potter because Potterheads are, they throw around their money. When they see Harry Potter, they go, how much?
Yeah. I'm a Slytherin. How much?
Yeah. Can I get this in Hufflepuff colors?
My personality is one of these houses this awful lady wrote about.
Yeah, your personality is either hero or slacker or smart person or evil.
God, I hate Harry Potter now. I do not care for it at all.
It's very difficult to... I guess I can still... Anything new with Harry Potter, I have no interest in. I can still watch the movies and divorce myself from the rest of the culture to the point where I can still get some kind of enjoyment out of it. But anything new, I have zero interest in.
I was so surprised how little it bothered me to drop all of it. Because I liked it. I liked the books.
I liked
the world. But like after the stuff happened.
Oh, yeah. All that stuff.
I was like, no more. And I've sweated none of it since. Like, I haven't been like, oh, I wish I could take in this Harry Potter medium.
I'm not missing.
I'm like, oh, I don't miss it at all, it turns out.
Yeah. Oh, sure. No, I get that. The most enjoyment I get out of Harry Potter nowadays is reading all of the insane plot synopses for the new J.K. Rowling books.
That last one.
We can't talk about it because it sounds real dumb and bad. But go look that one up. It's definitely not based on anything that is currently happening in her life right now.
I saw a TikTok of somebody flipping through it, and like the way that they have spaced out the conversations on the page looks so terrible to read. Because I guess it's supposed to be like an online chat or like tweets or something.
Oh, that's the worst.
And it's like so much of the book is formatted this way. I can't imagine.
Well, no wonder it has 600 more pages than Dune.
Yeah, because there's like 10 words on a page.
Bad formatting.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple quick hits. We were talking about DC stuff before, so let's keep going with that. Let's see. So there was a new trailer for Black Adam, and there continues to look as though there is no plot to this movie. It looks like The Rock flies down, beats up a bunch of guys, then flies to the next location and beats up a bunch of guys. There does not seem to be a villain. There barely seems to be heroes, and it's a lot of The Rock just saying, I'm not a hero. I'm not a good guy. Growl.
But I'm The Rock, so you know that.
Look at my lats. Look at my giant shoulder muscles because my costume is cut in such a way as to expose my giant shoulder muscles.
I'm not a good guy, except I'm The Rock, and contractually I'm going to be a good guy by the end of this film.
I have to be a good guy despite being conceived as the bad, villainous mirror version of Captain Marvel or Shazam, who already has his own movies. The other thing is...
We don't get Batgirl, but we have to suffer this.
Well, Warner Brothers has enough money to release 2 movies this year for the rest of the year, and Black Adam they've spent too much money on Black Adam. They're not going to shelve a Rock movie.
True.
The only good thing about it is released in October, so it can be part of Rocktoberfest celebration where we watch
your family's Rocktoberfest tradition.
You know what? You got to watch every Rock movie in October. Even the bad ones, especially the bad ones.
Most of them are the bad ones.
Yeah. Well, it's an excuse to watch Doom again. It's an excuse to watch Rampage, which was bad but fun. We do have to watch The Tooth Fairy.
Oh, no.
I've always felt like as soon as you put The Rock in your movie, it's only going to be so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I don't think it's his fault.
No, it's not his fault, but he has the range to do much more in his films, and yet all of his films devolved into, look at my muscles, I'm going to punch a thing. Like, he was the one, they did a bunch of Disney movies based on rides.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise. He's funny in that movie. He's funny, but by the end of it, it's just, look at my muscles, I'm going to punch a thing.
And I'm saying so good. I'm not saying that all of his movies are bad, because they're not.
They're not.
But none of them are like
outstanding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I always have this thing where I say something like that, and then somebody's like, why do you hate that? And it's like, no, I'm just saying it's not as good as it should be.
Right.
Like that Facebook post I made about Culver's the other day.
Oh, yeah, and people were very upset at you about Culver's.
Like, I didn't say it was bad. I just said it was overrated. It was just fine.
It's fine. It's perfectly fine food, but yeah.
I was sold Culver's like it was a godsend.
It's no In-N-Out burger.
It's no Swenson's.
There's no Swenson's. Yeah, that too. The other thing with Rock movies that I've found kind of interesting. The Rock seems to be following a similar career path to Arnold Schwarzenegger, in that Arnold was villainous characters for a short time early in his career, made the switch to only heroic characters, and for a stretch, he starred alongside a very short man in comedies.
Are they going to do a Twins with The Rock and Kevin
I'm saying
Hart?
they need to make another Twins movie with Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Oh my gosh.
Sure, do it.
Why not? Because there for a while, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. They were in Junior together. They were in Twins. I think those were the only two, but those were the big two.
It's weird that it happened
It
twice.
happened twice. And the same with Kevin Hart and The Rock. They have the Jumanji movies. They have Central Intelligence that no one remembers.
No, I didn't remember it till you said it.
Yeah. Here's the joke. The Rock is a big CIA man and Kevin Hart is tiny.
And Kevin Hart.
That's the joke.
Oh, do we have time for Spirit Halloween movie?
We got to. We got to
gotta
do it.
talk about
We got to
Spirit
do. We got
Halloween.
to talk about Spirit Halloween. There's a trailer for a movie called about Spirit Halloween, the Halloween stores that pop up like a plague
in old circuit cities.
Mm-hmm. And the trailer looks awful. It looks so bad.
So bad.
It looks like it's a Hallmark movie.
It's shot so flat.
Yeah, that somehow got made into a feature film.
Yeah. So they are building in the idea of the Spirit Halloween store into it, which is the craziest thing. So the short plot seems to be at some point in the past, Christopher Lloyd, who is a bad man, has died.
And I don't like watching Christopher Lloyd die on film.
I don't.
He's already old, and that is uncomfortable.
It is,
It's
however, but he comes back.
Sure.
He comes back in this as a ghost who is haunting a department store that is closed and has been reopened as a Spirit Halloween. And 3 kids lock themselves inside the Spirit Halloween and get scared by all of the animatronics that come to life.
All of the products that are in the store. A good portion of the trailer, and I'm assuming the film, is just kids getting scared by products you can buy.
It sounds like we're making this up, but this is a real, actual movie that is being released this year.
It's just to see him run around like the walls of plastic costumes. Like,
yeah.
It just feels gross.
It feels so weird, and I can't wait to watch it.
Oh yeah, it looks like it could be the right kind of bad.
It's yes. It looks terrible, and I can't wait.
It's kind of like the McDonald's effect to Mac and Me.
It is, yeah. Only instead of one scene, it's the entire movie. Yeah. This movie is going to be an hour and if it's 80 minutes, I will be very surprised.
Yeah.
But that's an 80-minute commercial for Spirit Halloween.
And I love going into that dumb store.
I do. Yeah. Every year I walk in and I go, okay, what kind of cool props for video stuff can I buy for cheap? I'm still looking for a discount gorilla suit. The one I had was stolen. Do you remember that one I had?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got stolen.
Jeez.
And
who steals a gorilla suit? Man.
Well, there's a whole story behind it, but that's for another day. But yes, I'm still looking for a discount gorilla suit to make cheapo movies out of.
We had one too. I don't know where it is. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, we've actually hit time. Congratulations. We did it.
We did it.
Please clap.
Mission accomplished.
Yes. The banner has dropped. Yeah. The confetti has fallen, and we have made it to the end of the show. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can look us up on any social media of your choosing, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Just put Nerd Overload Now into a field on a website, and you'll get to us
eventually. Yeah.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
You can give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline. That number is 586-372-8020. Leave a message and we might play it on the show. Tell us your favorite Spirit Halloween licensed character. I like the skeleton that comes out of the burlap sack.
I like the spooky clown, not the one you're thinking of, the other one.
Oh, no.
You can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
I take that back. I like the bog zombie.